I'm old-fashioned, but as the person who's asking the American people for the awesome honor and responsibility of being their vice president, I think I ought to have to go before the American people and make the case for why I deserve to have that job. And I think it's disgraceful that Tim Walz and Kamala Harris are running from every media interview, running from every reporter. They refuse to respect the American people enough to stand before them and actually ask them for their vote.
I can't wait to debate the guy.
I love that we live in a world where facts don't matter, and I don't love it. And the fact that I do or don't love it doesn't really matter because facts don't matter. I mean, this morning it was just confirmed that vice presidential candidates J.D. Vance and Tim Walz will debate on October 1st in New York City, hosted by CBS News. That didn't stop J.D. Vance from saying that Walz didn't want to debate him, and didn't stop him from then pretending like or acting as though he himself didn't want to debate Walz. You'll see that in a moment. But the debate will be moderated by Norah O'Donnell, CBS Evening News anchor, managing editor, and Margaret Brennan, the moderator of Face the Nation and CBS News foreign affairs correspondent. Talks about the VP debate have been circulating for a while now. Last week, CBS reported the Harris campaign had already agreed to this VP debate, and Tim Walz confirmed his appearance, quote tweeting CBS News's post confirming the 4 dates they offered for the VP debate, saying, "See you on October 1, JD."
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
But the Trump camp was a little more wishy-washy, it seemed. According to a CBS report last week, Trump also said CBS News would host a vice presidential debate next month, noting that his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, has, quote, really stepped up. He's doing a fantastic job. But yet, J.D. Vance himself didn't seem on board with it last night, despite those strong words you just saw a moment ago. What are you to believe? Take a look at this.
Well, Senator, is there any doubt that you will not be there on October 1st to debate Walz?
Look, Laura, we want to actually look at the debates, look at the moderators, talk about the rules a little bit. CBS reached out to us about this literally 3 hours ago. I was landing from a rally and a press conference in Michigan. I strongly suspect we're going to be there on October the 1st, but we're not going to do one of these fake debates, Laura, where they don't actually have an audience there, where they don't actually set the parameters in the right way, where you can have a good exchange of ideas. In other words, we're not going to walk into a fake news media garbage debate. We're going to do a real debate, and if CBS agrees to it, then certainly we'll do it.
Eventually, as you saw earlier, Vance did come around to the idea, as well as what he wants, a second debate on CNN. Posting on X, the American people deserve as many debates as possible, which is why President Trump has challenged Kamala to 3 of them already. Not only do I accept the CBS debate on October 1st, I accept the CNN debate on September 18th as well. I look forward to seeing you at both. The CNN debate proposed for September 18th will take place the day of Trump's sentencing in Manhattan. But so far, only Vance has accepted this debate. In the afternoon, Michael Tyler, communications director for Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign, said Walz will only participate in the CBS debate on October 1st. He also reiterated Harris's intention to debate Trump on September 10th, and said she would agree to one more meeting sometime in October. Tyler continued, the debate about debates is over. Voters deserve to see the candidates for the highest office in the land share their competing visions for our future. The more they play games, the more insecure and unserious Trump and Vance reveal themselves to be to the American people. Those games end now. So there's a little bit more on this, but Cenk, I'd love to hear your thoughts halfway through here.
Yeah, I think that the main point here is, why did J.D. Vance go from 0 debates to proposing 2 debates? So there's a very real reason for that, because they're losing. Back when Kamala Harris first got started, they thought, oh my God, this is gonna be easy, we're definitely gonna win, we don't want any debates. Trump started running away from the idea of debates, and he thought, well, it's easy to debate Biden, not so easy to debate Kamala Harris, so I want no piece of this. But now that they're trailing, all of a sudden they're like, debates, yeah, we meant debates. And so they'll try to take snippets out of those debates and do damage. Also, when Tim Walz was first picked, they were ecstatic. They really thought like, oh, this country's gonna hate progressive ideas like paid family leave. Oh, we're gonna pick this guy apart. Radical left believes in the child tax credit and higher wages for the average American. We're gonna kill this guy. And then his poll numbers only went up. And they're like, damn it. So now that's why all of a sudden, they're eager to debate.
Yeah, very true. And also, I just think it really speaks to the reinvigoration and the very necessary reinvigoration of what has happened for the Democratic ticket since Kamala Harris took over. Because, like you said, they overplayed their hand about Americans not wanting the progressive ideals that they in fact do want. The issue was just, unfortunately, Biden was unable to communicate them. He was unable to effectively talk about his agenda, and literally, like as sad or unfortunate as it may have been, when he would speak, he would just sit there and try to hope he wasn't making gaffes. And when you would cringe, and you really couldn't get inspired by a message. And that is everything in a campaign. It's important in governing from the bully pulpit as well, but especially in the campaign, it's all about messaging. And Vance is trying really hard to push this tough guy act and turn all of it on Walz, as though Walz is being scared. I don't know that it resonates, but take a look at this clip.
I think we ought to do as many debates as we possibly can. I know the President Trump has invited Kamala Harris to do 3 debates. She's only agreed to 1. Tim Walz, I guess we agreed to do a debate on October 1st, but CNN, not exactly friendly to me, much more left-wing than almost any other media station. CNN wants to do a debate in mid-September. And I said, yes, absolutely, because the American people deserve it. And just one final point about this. Look, the Harris campaign is not running a political campaign. They're trying to produce a movie. She never stands before the American people without a script. She never talks to voters unless a teleprompter is right in the middle of them. This is not a person who we should trust to sit in a private room with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin and the leaders of America's, whether they're adversaries or friends. If you are afraid of a friendly media, and the media has been very friendly to Kamala Harris, then how can we possibly trust you to represent us on the world stage? The answer is we can't, which is why we ought to fire Kamala Harris, not give her a promotion.
Yeah, that sounds like projection and damage control on Vance's part to me, although I still make the point that I don't agree with the tactic. I understand why the Harris campaign is not having her sit for interviews or do a press conference because of the risk involved. When you're in the lead and you have momentum, you just don't want to screw up. But it's giving a very major and fairly legit criticism to the Trump-Vance campaign to hit her with. And she's going to have to do it at some point anyway. And at that point, it's going to be so parsed, every word she says, like Biden's interviews were, because all of this has been built towards it. They should nip that in the butt and take the power away from it. Have her do an interview, prep her for the next few days until that interview happens, and put that to rest. But again, I think it's damage control, this line of attack overall, and him wanting all of these debates, because listen to this statistic here. A YouGov poll found 36% of US adults had a favorable view of Vance. Just 36% compared to 47% who found him unfavorable, a net favorability of negative 11 points. The same poll, 40% said Walz was favorable, while just 39% said he was unfavorable, giving him a net favorability rating of +1, which in today's politics is incredibly popular. You got +1, 1%, not bad at all. And in another poll, most people believe Vance is actually hurting Trump's chances of winning. The question was from YouGov, do you think JD Vance helps or hurts Donald Trump's chances to win the presidential election? 24% think he helps, 29% thinks he hurts. So there's that as well. Cenk?
Yeah, so I saw favorability for Walz at +11. So, and to your point, Ben, that's a tsunami in this day and age. I haven't seen double digits favorability in a net way in a long time for any politician. So, man, were they wrong about Tim Walz. I agree with Ben. They should do as many interviews and debates as possible. They raise all this money to do paid media. Earned media is better. That's not the ads in between the show, it's in the show, right? And so if you're got a good case to make to the American people, you should go and make it as often as possible. If I was them, I'd say yes to the 3 debates with Trump. By the end of the 3rd debate, Trump will melt. I mean, that guy can. 3 debates with Trump, he will say such maniacal things. He will punch himself in the face like 17 times per debate. Answer is yes. 2 debates with JD Vance and Tim Walz, where Tim Walz is going to look likable and JD Vance is going to keep looking like a serial killer? Are you kidding me? Yes, the answer is yes. Interviews, yes. Why are they not saying yes yet? Keep it real. The most honest show in America. We just said this about Trump. It's also true about Kamala Harris. The reason why Kamala Harris isn't doing interviews right now is because she's formulating her new positions. They're recalibrating and trying to figure out what the best way to frame her positions are and what her positions should be. Just like when Donald Trump was asked, hey, how are you going to vote in the ballot initiative on abortion in Florida? He was like, I don't know yet. I got to talk it through. I got to tell you later. You don't know what your position on abortion is? Okay, so that's what drives us crazy about politicians, constantly putting the finger to the wind, not at all authentic, etc. But right now, Harris and Walz have a huge advantage. If I was them, I'd go on the offense and I'd stay there. Last thing is a quick note on what JD Vance just said there. He's like, oh, can you imagine her in a private room with Vladimir Putin? Well, brother, we know what happened when Trump and Putin were in a private room. This is one of the stories that came out of this, and this is not disputed. So they come out of it, and Trump took the translators' notes, the American translators' notes, and ripped them up because he didn't want anyone to know what he had told Putin. And the next time they had a meeting, he refused an American translator and only went with the Russian translator because he didn't want any other American knowing what he was promising Putin. So that's what happens with Trump and Putin. Trust me, I'd rather take almost anyone else in that room rather than Trump. We have no idea what he's giving away so that he can get favors from Putin.
Totally, and I think the Harris campaign, like I said, but just to elaborate on it, is making their first real tactical mistake in this, in not agreeing to interviews. And I get it, the campaign is very new. At least say that, take away the power from this talking point from the Trump campaign. You can just say, our campaign is brand new, we're gearing up for our convention, a very big event. We are eagerly looking forward to an interview or several right after the convention. Buy yourself an extra 2 weeks until then. And formulate your darn opinions already, lock them, hopefully they're already fairly formed, but the edges of them and how you're gonna, coalesce them with your running mate and coalesce them with the party's platform and put them on the books and say, that's not true, it's ridiculous, this is already scheduled for 2 weeks from now, and that's the first of a bunch that are gonna be coming your way. And like you said, there should be a bunch, Cenk, because that also takes the power away from any potential gaffe that Kamala might make in that interview. If you have just one, it'll be parsed forever. But Trump makes insane mistakes and huge lies and says crazy things every day, and they just get washed away because he does so much of it. So flood the zone and give them another interview the next day if you say something weird in that first one, and it'll be forgotten mostly. They'll try to use the clip, of course, but you'll be able to do more and more and just say they're using an old interview, move on.
Yeah, I mean, God, what I would do for one debate with Donald Trump. It's just, come on, that's a gift from heaven. You kidding me? End them. So, all right.
Ditto.
Yeah, politics is about strength. Go on the offense and stay there. Okay.
And it's just stupid how people continually don't see through just the sheer politicking on both sides, because it's just a little goofy that on both sides, they keep saying the other one refuses to debate. Then they're like, I accept the debate. In fact, I accept 3 debates. And the other side that was just saying the other side was chicken to debate is like 3. I don't know about 3. It sounds like a lot. So they're just really ping-ponging constantly on their opinion. Who's scared and who's tough.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.